The stage lights burned hot at the troubadour. Their glare caught the sweat on my brow as I stood in the wings, my heart hammering like a kick drum. Lila, my half-sister, owned the crowd. Her sequined dress flashed as she belted out echoes of you. My song, my soul, stolen and repackaged as hers. The audience roared, phones lifted like a sea of glowing stars, oblivious to the lie shimmering under the spotlight. I gripped the flash drive in my pocket, its edges biting into my palm. It was loaded with proof that could torch Vanessa's carefully curated empire. Explain to your daughter why her fame's built on a lie, I whispered to myself, rehearsing the moment. Explain to your husband why his deals vanish. To your label why the hit dies before the encore. The words felt like venom, righteous, sharp. But then a flicker of doubt stabbed at me, quick as a bad cord. Am I the villain here? 2 weeks earlier, my old mentor Eli had seen it coming. Over a crackling phone call, his voice gruff with concern, he asked, "What kind of person exposes family betrayal at her half-sister's concert?" Wrong question. The real one was this. What kind of person spends months plotting to dismantle her stepmother's world, while playing the loyal sister she expects? The answer was me. Sienna Locke. Standing in the shadows of that LA stage, watching Lila bask in stolen glory, my hand steady on the truth that would unravel her. But to understand how I got here, you need the whole track. Vanessa wasn't just my stepmom. She was a faded dreamer, her own singing career crushed by the industry's cold shoulder in the 90s. I'd seen it in her eyes once. She was flipping through an old scrapbook in Dad's study, her fingers lingering on a yellowed poster of her last failed gig. Her voice was bitter as she muttered to Dad, "I won't let Lila end up like me." That was her fuel, a desperate need to sculpt Lila into the star she never became, even if it meant erasing me. Lila, though, was harder to read. We'd shared stolen moments as kids, her sneaking into my room to hum my melodies, her eyes bright with awe, before Vanessa's shadow swallowed her. Now, she performed my song without a glance my way, but I'd caught her once, weeks ago, pausing mid-rehearsal. Her fingers hesitated over her phone, as if typing a message she'd never send. Was she complicit or just Vanessa's puppet? That night, 2 weeks before the troubadour, I woke at 2:30 a.m. in my Silver Lake walk-up. The silence was heavy, broken only by the distant hum of LA's restless streets. Lila haunted my dreams. Her voice echoed my lyrics, her face lit by a spotlight I'd never touch. My one bedroom was a shrine to my grind. Exposed brick walls, a thrift store couch, a tiny balcony overlooking the city's neon pulse. I shuffled to the kitchenette. The Formica counter was sticky under my palms as I brewed my midnight coffee. Colombian blend, 20 seconds in the grinder, water at 200 degrees. Precision kept me sane, a ritual to drown the self-doubt that whispered I'd never be enough. As the coffee hissed, I pictured Vanessa's scrapbook again, her faded dreams driving her to steal mine, and Lila's hesitant pause, a crack in her polished facade. My notebook waited on the rickety table, blank pages begging for lyrics, but all I could see was the flash drive, my weapon, and the question burning in my gut. Was I saving myself or destroying what little family I had left? 3 days after that sleepless night in my Silver Lake apartment, I was sprawled on my sagging couch. The faint whiff of last night's Thai takeout still lingered in the air. I scrolled through TikTok, just trying to numb the ache. The algorithm knew my grind too well, feeding me clips of aspiring artists, music industry tea, and then it hit. A video of Lila at a glitzy LA venue. Her voice soared through echoes of you, my song, the one I'd bled into during those lonely nights after Dad walked out. The caption stabbed like a bad mix. Lila Thorne's original hit, written by Vanessa Thorne, dropping soon. Millions of views, hearts exploding, comments gushing about its raw heart. My pulse slammed like a broken metronome. Shock ripped through me as I zoomed in on the credits. Vanessa as songwriter? Those were my lyrics. My melody, my pain about abandonment, twisted into her narrative. Rage boiled up, hot and jagged. My vision blurred as I replayed the video, each note a fresh cut. But then, the old self-doubt crept in. That wounded kid inside whispered, maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I shared too much during those family jam sessions Vanessa loved to stage manage. The apartment spun. The city's neon buzz outside my window faded as a panic attack hit, chest tight, breath short, memories flooding back. Dad zipping his suitcase when I was 10. Vanessa's triumphant smile in the doorway, her hand on his arm as I stood frozen in the hall, my small voice begging him to stay, unanswered. The sounds echoed, his zippers rasp, her soft laugh like glass shards, my heart breaking in real time. I gripped my phone, knuckles white, grounding myself in the hum of traffic, the glow of my laptop. But the betrayal clung, amplifying the question. Was I crazy to fight this? Or was this just history repeating? 2 days later, I needed air. I headed to a cafe near Harmony Records, a spot Eli had tipped me off about. The kind of place where industry folks spilled secrets over overpriced lattes. The place buzzed, producers in hoodies, singers nursing hangovers. The espresso machine hissed, cutting through their chatter. I grabbed a corner table, hands still shaky from the TikTok gut punch, and ordered an iced latte. The barista's cheery, "Have a great day," clashed with the storm inside me. I'd come prepared, phone set to record tucked under a napkin while I pretended to scroll. 2 guys I recognized from label events sat nearby. A bearded dude with a Nashville twang and a slick-haired exec. Their coffee cups clinked as they leaned in. "Lila's track is blowing up," the bearded one said, sipping his black coffee. "Echoes of You. Vanessa's a genius for that one." The exec nodded, waving his phone. She polished it from some old ideas, but it's her vision now. TikTok's eating it alive. Lila's gonna be huge. My stomach twisted. Their words confirmed the theft, but self-doubt hissed again. Were my ideas really that disposable? Flashback. Age 12. Sitting alone at a family dinner. Vanessa praising Lila's piano recital while my song, scribbled on a napkin, went unnoticed. Dad's nod bypassing me like I was static. I kept my face neutral, recording every damning word. My fingers trembled on the cold glass of my latte. Back home, city lights flickering through my blinds, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I texted Lila, thumbs flying with hurt and fury. "Saw your video. That's my song, Echoes of You, about Dad leaving. Why's Vanessa credited? We need to talk." The message sat undelivered. Ellipses appeared, then vanished. "Nothing." I sent another. "Lila, this isn't right." Silence again. Her ignore hit harder than a slammed door. But then, a flicker, her Instagram story posted minutes later. She was in a studio, her smile tight, her eyes darting away from the camera as Vanessa's voice barked directions in the background. Was Lila trapped in this too? Or just playing her part? The question gnawed at me. Memories mixed in, her sneaking into my room years ago, humming my melodies like they were hers, before Vanessa's grip tightened. My coffee cooled on the table, the apartment's walls pressed in. Curiosity about their full plan burned hotter than my rage. I wasn't just fighting for my song. I was fighting for the ghost of that 10-year-old girl. Sidelined, erased, wondering if blowing this up would free me, or break me for good. After Lila's silence sliced through me like a missed cue, I sat in my Silver Lake apartment. The city's neon hum seeped through the blinds as I tried to convince myself it was all a mix-up. Maybe Echoes of You was just parallel thinking. Lila riffing off our shared family pain, Vanessa polishing it innocently, like stepmoms do. The lie felt thin as a worn guitar string, but I clung to it, replaying that TikTok video, the lyrics mirroring mine word for word. My rage simmered down into a dull ache. Self-doubt coiled tighter. That 10-year-old girl inside whispered, I was seeing betrayal where there was none. Old wounds from Dad's abandonment twisting the truth. Insomnia gripped me. The clock ticked past 3 a.m. The faint jasmine scent from the neighbor's balcony pulled me back to Mom's Ohio garden before it all fell apart. Flashbacks crept in, hiding under my covers at 12. Vanessa's sharp voice cutting through the walls as she argued with Dad. Her triumphant, "It's for the best," dismissing me like a bad demo. I avoided my keyboard. Its dust-covered keys stood as a reminder. Creating now felt like pouring my soul into a void they'd steal again. In a moment of weakness, I reopened TikTok. My thumb slipped on the screen, accidentally liking Lila's video. The red heart flashed before I could undo it. Panic surged like a skipped beat in a live set. My breath caught as I imagined Vanessa spotting the notification. Her brow furrowing over her morning smoothie, or Lila pausing, her eyes flickering with guilt. I deleted my history, hands shaking, the internal conflict roaring. Was I tipping my hand too soon or was this my chance to fight? The fear of shattering what little family I had left clashed with the need to reclaim my voice, leaving me dizzy on my lumpy couch. Desperate for clarity, I drove to the Hollywood Hills to confront Vanessa. I masked my intent with a box of old family photos I'd dug out of my closet. The Thorne estate loomed, manicured lawns, a sparkling pool, a stark contrast to my cramped walk-up, the air thick with eucalyptus, and Vanessa's curated perfection. She answered the door in yoga gear, her smile practiced, but her eyes narrowing like she sensed the storm I carried. "Sienna, what a surprise," she said, voice smooth but clipped, pouring herself a green juice without offering me any. Her manicured fingers tapped the counter, impatient. I steadied myself, voice even but tight. "I saw Lila's video. Echoes of You, that's my song, Vanessa. I wrote it years ago. Why are you credited?" Her smile shifted to a pitying tilt. Her eyes slid past me to her phone, subtle gaslighting that hit like a muted note. "Oh, honey, you're confused," she said, crossing her arms, tone dripping condescension. "Lila wrote that. Her heart, her story. You might have shared some ideas ages ago, but don't let your sensitivity cloud things. This industry's brutal. I'm protecting Lila's shot." Her words stung, hinting at her own past failures, that scrapbook of faded dreams I'd seen before. But her dismissal echoed louder. The day she packed my things at 12, her "it's for the best, dear" ringing hollow as she avoided my tears. I pressed harder, my voice cracking. "I have the demos, Vanessa. This isn't right." She waved it off, her smile tightening, gesturing toward the door. "Let's not make a scene, Sienna. Family supports family, not accuses. Be happy for Lila. She's earned this." I left. The LA sunset mocked me with its golden glow. My hands trembled on the steering wheel as her gaslighting sank in, amplifying the doubt. Was I wrong to push? Was I risking the fragile ties to Dad and Lila? That night, over cheap ramen in my cluttered kitchen, I spilled everything to my roommate, Mia. The steam rose like my frustration. "They stole my song, Mia," I whispered, my fork shaking as I recounted Vanessa's denial. The emotional weight crushed me. Mia's eyes flashed, her fist clenching on the table. "That's messed up, Sienna. Call them out, like, now. Don't let them play you." Her words were fire, urging action. But fear of losing Dad's faint affection froze me. My mind flashed to his absent nod at 12, choosing Vanessa's narrative over me. "What if it breaks everything?" I murmured, my voice catching, torn between fighting and fading. As Mia hugged me goodnight, my phone buzzed, an anonymous call. The unknown number glowed like a warning. I let it go to voicemail. A chill crept up my spine, and I wondered if Vanessa's game was darker than I'd feared. Vanessa's dismissal in that sunlit kitchen lingered like a sour note. Her words, "family supports family, not accuses," cut deeper than I'd expected. Back in my Silver Lake apartment, the memory of her pitying smile and the eucalyptus-scented air of the Thorne estate gnawed at me. It mixed with the ominous buzz of that anonymous call from last night. I played the voicemail again, just static, and a faint breath, as if someone, Lila, had hesitated before hanging up. The uncertainty fueled my resolve, but doubt still clawed at me. Was I tearing apart the only family I had left? Or was this the only way to finally be seen? Eli Roth, my old music producer mentor, was the one person who'd always heard my voice. I texted him, my thumbs shaky on the screen. He replied instantly, suggesting a meetup at a Silver Lake dive bar the next night, a gritty spot far from Vanessa's polished Hollywood world, a place where dreams like mine were born or buried. The bar was a time capsule of LA's underbelly, sticky floors, faded indie posters peeling off the walls, the air thick with stale beer and patio cigarette smoke. The jukebox hummed a low blues riff, mirroring the churn in my gut as I pushed through the door. Eli waited at a booth, his graying beard tied back, his worn leather jacket carrying the ghosts of better gigs. He stood, pulling me into a bear hug, his grip steadying my frayed nerves. "Sienna, you look like someone's ripped your melody and claimed the Grammy," he said. His voice was gruff, but warm, sliding a pint across the scarred wooden table as we sat. I spilled it all. The TikTok video, Vanessa's gaslighting, Lila's silence, the voicemail's eerie static. His brow furrowed, his fingers drumming a slow beat, recognizing the pattern from his own battles. "That's your song, kid," he said when I mentioned Echoes of You. "I remember your 18 demo. Raw, real, your heart bleeding through every chord, no mistaking it. His words lit a spark, anger flaring over the doubt. But his next question hit hard. "You sure you want to burn this bridge? Family's messy, but it's yours." I froze, pint halfway to my lips. A flashback hit, a rare moment at 12. Dad teaching me guitar in the garage, his laugh warm, before Vanessa's shadow snuffed it out. Was I betraying him now, or had he betrayed me first? Eli leaned in, eyes sharp, sharing stories of industry thefts that echoed mine. "Look at Taylor Swift," he said. "She fought for her masters, documented every move, went public smart. Or that indie kid last year lost her hit to a producer's credit grab because she didn't copyright early." He paused, his voice dropping low, driving the point home. "Register your stuff with the Copyright Office, Sienna. Online, cheap, locks your work from day one. Don't let them rewrite your name out." I nodded, the advice sinking in, empowerment rising like a new hook. But Vanessa's shadow loomed larger than ever. Her words from the kitchen replayed, "This industry's brutal. I'm protecting Lila's shot." I'd seen her scrapbook, her faded dreams of stardom crushed by that same brutal industry. Was she stealing my work to shield Lila from her own failures, or just to keep her grip on the spotlight? And Lila, her tight smile in that Instagram story, her hesitation in the voicemail, was she a pawn or a player? Eli slid a business card across the table, a lawyer's name scrawled on the back. "This ain't just a song grab," he said, his hand gesturing sharply. "Vanessa's waging catalog warfare, erasing you to build Lila's empire. But you've got the proof. Use it." Driving home through LA's twinkling streets, the city's pulse synced with my own. Eli's words looped like a track I couldn't mute. Anger burned, but so did a new clarity. I wasn't just fighting for echoes of you. I was fighting for every note I'd ever written, every dream Vanessa had tried to bury. Yet the mystery of that voicemail, and Lila's role in it, hung heavy, a dissonant chord unresolved. As I parked outside my apartment, Jasmine drifting from the balcony, one thought haunted me. Was Lila reaching out, or was this just another trap in Vanessa's game? Eli's words echoed like a relentless baseline, pushing me past the edge as I sat at my cluttered desk in Silver Lake. Morning light sliced through the blinds like stage spots. The voicemail's static from last night, possibly Lila's hesitant breath, still haunted me. But Vanessa's cold dismissal, "This industry's brutal," lit a fire I couldn't douse. Was I saving my soul or torching the last threads of family? The question gnawed at me, but I was done hiding in their shadows. I opened my laptop, the hum of its fan mixing with the faint jasmine scent drifting from the balcony. And I created at Shadow Echoanon a ghost profile with a blurred avatar, my weapon to expose Vanessa's theft without leaving fingerprints. Guilt stabbed sharp. A memory flashed, Dad's warm laugh during our old guitar lessons, now buried under Vanessa's narrative. Was I becoming the schemer I despised? I shook it off. The proof on my drive burned hotter than doubt. That afternoon, I met Eli at his Echo Park studio. The cramped space was alive with vintage amps and the musty smell of old vinyl. Gig posters curled on the walls. He greeted me with a nod, his eyes serious under the dim light, pulling up a chair by his computer. "Let's peel back this poisoned apple," he said. His metaphor eased the weight of the tech as we targeted a shared family account Vanessa had set up years ago, back when she'd roped me into managing her collab files as her unpaid assistant. Her arrogance hadn't changed the password. Lila Star 2020, as predictable as her ambition. My hands shook as I logged in, Eli's steady presence grounding me, but a wrong keystroke triggered a security alert. My phone pinged with the login warning, panic hit like a skipped beat. My mind flashed to Vanessa's furrowed brow, maybe checking her phone in her pristine kitchen, sensing a crack in her control. Eli guided me to a VPN reroute. His calm voice cut through the fear. "Breathe, kid. Try again." The screen bloomed with folders, and there it was, track deals. Emails from Vanessa to a label exec, attaching contracts, selling Echoes of You as her own. Dated weeks ago, with wire transfers for a sum that should have been mine. My blood ran cold. Rage drowned the guilt. But then, a memory flickered. Vanessa helping me with homework once, her rare soft smile, now twisted into manipulation. I screenshot everything, my heart pounding, but on a hunch, I clicked deeper into the inbox. A subfolder labeled Future Releases. I froze. My college demos, renamed for Lila's next album, proof of a theft bigger than I'd ever imagined. Eli's voice broke the silence, low and firm. "That's your ammo, Sienna. Use it smart." I posted a cryptic teaser as @ShadowEchoAnon on X, a screenshot of a contract's metadata carefully edited to hide my hand, hinting at stolen tracks. Each click felt like a step toward justice, but also a leap into the unknown. My stomach twisted with the cost. Would this free me, or make me the villain in Dad's eyes? As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across Eli's studio, the weight of my plan settled. A trap was set. But the anonymous voicemail's echo lingered, whispering that Vanessa's game, or maybe Lila's, was far from over. The cryptic post from @ShadowEchoAnon hung in the digital ether, a ticking bomb set to detonate at Lila's Wiltern show. Back in my Silver Lake apartment, the glow of my laptop cast shadows on the exposed brick. The hum of traffic blended with the faint burn of toast from a forgotten midnight snack. Eli's words, "Use it smart," looped in my head. So did the voicemail's static, maybe Lila's hesitant breath, stirring a tangle of hope and suspicion. Was I setting a trap for justice, or rigging a grenade that would blow up what little family I had left? The doubt hit hard. A memory flashed. Dad's rare smile at a blended holiday dinner, his hand on my shoulder, before Vanessa's voice redirected his attention to Lila. I pushed it down and scheduled another post. A blurred demo timestamp, set to drop mid-show, each click tightening the noose around Vanessa's lies. The Thorne estate loomed for our monthly family dinner. Glass walls, curated art, screaming new money. The air was heavy with Vanessa's lavender diffuser and clinking wine glasses. I sat across from Lila, her candlelit face a mask of practiced charm. Her eyes kept flicking to her phone as Vanessa boasted, "Lila's singles charting top 10, our vision's a game changer." The word "our" sliced like a bad chord. My fork froze midair. I fought the urge to scream, "It's my song!" The temptation to confront them surged, to lay bare the theft and beg Dad to see me, just once. But his nod to Vanessa, blind to me as always, snuffed it out. It echoed that night at 11 when my scribbled lyrics on a napkin went unnoticed while Vanessa praised Lila's school play. Was I about to destroy him too, or had he already chosen her over me? I swallowed the words, smiled tight, played the supportive sister, while my plan ticked on. Back home, the city's neon pulse flickering through my blinds, I checked @ShadowEchoAnon. The teaser post had traction, industry insiders speculating, fans sniffing Betrayal. My heart raced, empowerment surging, but guilt clawed back. I pictured Dad's face when the truth hit, his disappointment cutting deeper than Vanessa's schemes. Could I have talked to Lila first, found another way? The thought lingered as I encrypted my files, the hum of my hard drive steadying my nerves. Then, notification ping. A login attempt on my anonymous account. The IP traced to a label office. My breath caught. I imagined Vanessa's manicured fingers hovering over a laptop, her brow creasing as she sensed a threat. Or was it Lila, her hesitant breath from that voicemail, now a warning? The trap was set. But danger closed in, a dissonant riff leaving me teetering on the edge of justice and ruin. The Wiltern's lights pulsed like a heartbeat. The crowd's roar vibrated through the Art Deco walls as I stood in the wings, phone clutched tight. @ShadowEchoAnon's latest post, a blurred contract snippet, was live, already rippling across X. The login attempt from the label office last night buzzed in my mind, a digital shadow of Vanessa's paranoia. Its IP trace was a warning. My trap was tightening. The air was electric, heavy with sweat and anticipation. The stage, my battleground, where my truth would either soar or crash. Was I about to reclaim my song or burn every bridge to ash? The question clawed at me. A memory flashed, Lila at 13, sneaking into my room to hum my melodies. Her eyes bright before Vanessa's control choked her spark. Guilt twisted sharp. Could I have reached her before this war began? Lila took the stage. Her sequined dress caught the spotlight like a supernova. Her voice launched into echoes of you. My song. Stolen. Now a chart-topping lie. The crowd swayed, phones glowing. But halfway through the first verse, her voice cracked. A sharp falter, like a string snapping mid-riff. Her eyes darted to the wings, where Vanessa stood, arms crossed, her silhouette rigid with expectation. Lila's hands trembled on the mic. Her gaze flickered to the crowd, then down, as if searching for something, or someone. Was it guilt or just stage fright? I remembered her tight smile in that Instagram story, the voicemail's hesitant breath, And I saw it now, a crack in her polished facade. A girl caught between Vanessa's ambition and the truth. "Keep going, Lila," Vanessa hissed from the shadows, her voice low, cutting, her manicured fingers clenched, as if holding Lila's performance together by force. Lila recovered, but the hesitation lingered. Her eyes scanned the crowd, maybe for me. A silent plea I couldn't read. My phone buzzed. Eli, texting from the sound booth. "Now, Sienna, drop the proof." My thumb hovered over the post button. The final blow. A time-stamped demo file. My voice, raw, unmistakable, synced to go viral with the hashtag #WhoWroteEchoes. My heart pounded, the weight of the moment crushing. Exposing Vanessa would shatter Lila's moment, maybe her heart, too. Was I punishing her for Vanessa's sins, or freeing us both? The memory of Dad's absent nod at that family dinner hit hard. His choice to see only Vanessa's narrative. I pressed send. The post flooded X. Comments exploded. "Is this for real? Lila's a fraud?" The crowd's vibe shifted. Phones buzzed. Whispers spread. A ripple turning tidal. Vanessa stormed toward me in the wings. Her face a mask of fury, her voice a low growl. "You're ruining everything, Sienna." This was for Lila. For us. Her eyes betrayed a flicker of panic. The same desperation I'd seen in her scrapbook's faded pages. Her voice cracked as she added, "You don't know what it's like to lose your shot." For a moment, I saw her, not the manipulator, but a woman haunted by her own failures, clinging to Lila's spotlight to rewrite her past. But it passed. Her glare hardened. "You'll regret this," she hissed. On stage, Lila faltered again. Her voice broke as she saw the crowd's phones lighting up with my post. Her eyes locked on mine for a split second. Hurt, maybe regret. Then she pushed through the song. As the final notes faded, the crowd's cheers were laced with confusion. My truth cut through their applause like a distorted chord. I slipped out. The Wiltern's neon marquee blurred in the LA night. My victory, bitter with the cost. Lila's hesitation, Vanessa's panic, they were cracks in their armor, but also in mine. Had I just won my song back, or lost the sister I might have saved? The city's pulse thrummed, urging me forward, but the echo of that anonymous voicemail lingered, a question mark in the dark. The Wiltern's neon marquee faded into the LA night as I sped back to my Silver Lake apartment. The city's pulse pounded, a chaotic rhythm against my racing heart. The @ShadowEchoAnon post had gone viral. X was alight with accusations and hashtags. Who wrote Echoes trending, fans dissecting Lila's performance, insiders spilling tea about Vanessa's so-called creative oversight. My phone buzzed relentlessly. Eli's texts. "You did it, kid, but brace yourself." Mixed with a flood of DMs from strangers, some cheering, others venomous. "You're tearing Lila down." The weight of it hit like a dropped beat. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Had I reclaimed my truth or unleashed a storm I couldn't control? Lila's faltering eyes on stage, that split second of hurt, haunted me, mingling with Vanessa's panicked, "You'll regret this," and the ghost of Dad's absent nod from that family dinner. Back home, the jasmine scent from the balcony felt suffocating. My laptop screen glowed with the chaos I'd sparked. I scrolled X, my breath catching at a grainy fan video from the Wiltern. Lila's voice breaking mid-song, her gaze darting to Vanessa's shadow in the wings, the crowd's cheers souring into murmurs as phones lit up with my post. Then, a new message popped up, anonymous again, but this time, a text. "Check your DMs. I'm sorry." My pulse spiked. The words echoed that voicemail's hesitant breath from before. Was it Lila, cracking under the truth? Or another of Vanessa's traps? I opened the DM, a single image, a handwritten note in Lila's loopy scrawl. "I didn't know it was yours at first. She said it was hers. I'm trapped." My heart sank. Guilt surged like feedback through a bad amp. Lila, my half-sister who once hummed my melodies in secret, was caught in Vanessa's web. Her apology felt like a fragile thread. But could I trust it? The next morning, Eli called me to his Echo Park studio, the air thick with coffee, and the hum of old gear. "The label's spooked," he said, beard twitching as he leaned over his desk. He showed me a cease and desist email from Vanessa's lawyer, accusing me of defamation. "They're circling the wagons," he muttered, "but your proof's airtight. Time-stamped demos, emails, metadata, you've got 'em cornered." His confidence steadied me, but the doubt lingered. Was I fighting for justice? Or punishing Lila for being Vanessa's pawn? I remembered Vanessa's fleeting panic at the will turn. Her, "You don't know what it's like to lose your shot." A glimpse of the broken dreamer behind her schemes, tied to that scrapbook I'd seen years ago. She wasn't just stealing, she was clawing for relevance, using Lila to rewrite her failures. But that didn't erase the theft, or the ache of Dad's silence. His phone still unanswered since my post. Eli handed me a USB drive, my demos backed up with legal timestamps, and a plan. "Perform Echoes of You at the Roxy tomorrow," he said, voice firm. "Your stage, your truth. Own it, Sienna. Show the world it's yours." I nodded, adrenaline surging. But Lila's note burned in my mind, her "I'm trapped" still a dissonant chord. As I left the studio, LA's sunset painted the sky in fiery streaks. I checked X again. My post had sparked a movement, fans rallying with "How justice for Sienna." But others slammed me for ruining Lila's moment. The city's neon buzz felt like a warning. The weight of tomorrow's performance pressed down. Could I take the stage and claim my song without breaking Lila for good? Or was this war already too far gone? The Roxy's stage lights burned hotter than the Wilterns. Their glare cut through the haze of cigarette smoke and anticipation as I gripped my guitar. The crowd's murmur a low hum in my chest. The fallout from @ShadowEchoAnon's viral post still rippled. #Justice for Sienna was trending. The labels cease and desist buried under a flood of fan support. My time-stamped demos, undeniable proof. Tonight was mine, my chance to reclaim Echoes of You on my terms. But Lila's handwritten note from last night. "I didn't know it was yours at first. I'm trapped." It weighed heavy. Her words, a ghost in my mind. Had I fought for my truth, or broken the sister who might have been my ally? The question lingered, sharp as a snapped string, as I stepped into the spotlight. The crowd's roar washed over me like a tidal wave. I strummed the opening chords of Echoes of You, my voice raw, carrying the pain of Dad's absence, the sting of Vanessa's theft. The audience swayed, phones down, eyes locked on me. Their energy pulsed, something I hadn't felt since my college open mics. But halfway through, I spotted Lila in the crowd, her face half lit by the stage glow. Her eyes red-rimmed, her hands clasped tight. She wasn't the polished pop star from the Wiltern. She was the girl who'd hummed my melodies at 13. Now standing alone, Vanessa's shadow nowhere in sight. Her hesitant clap broke through the crowd's rhythm, a flicker of remorse in her gaze, mirroring the voicemail's breathy pause and that tight smile from her Instagram story. Was this her apology, or just another crack in her facade? My voice faltered for a split second. The memory of her note mixed with guilt. Had I pushed her too far? Punishing her for Vanessa's sins? The song ended, the crowd erupted, but my triumph tasted bitter, laced with the cost. I'd won my song back, but at what price? Dad's texts remained unanswered, his silence louder than ever. A void echoing that night at 11 when he ignored my scribbled lyrics. Vanessa's empire was crumbling, her label deal on hold, her name dragged on X. But her panicked words from the Wiltern rang in my ears. "You don't know what it's like to lose your shot." A reminder of her own broken dreams. And Lila, her hesitant clap, felt like a fragile bridge, one I might have burned too soon. Could I have reached her before this war? Saved us both from the wreckage? I pushed the thought down, gripped the mic, my voice steady as I announced, "This is for every artist fighting to be heard." The crowd roared, but Lila's eyes held mine. A silent question I couldn't answer. Backstage, Eli pulled me into a hug, his voice gruff with pride. "You owned it, Sienna. The world knows it's yours now." He showed me X. Fans had launched a fundraiser for my Echo Foundation, a dream to support artists against industry theft. I smiled, but the victory felt hollow. Lila slipped out of the crowd, her silhouette fading into the LA night. Her remorse, a weight I hadn't expected. I'd reclaimed my song, but the family I'd clung to, Dad's faint warmth, Lila's fleeting connection, was fractured. Maybe for good. Driving home, the city's neon pulse flickered through my windshield. I wondered, was justice worth this ache? Could my voice ever drown out the echo of what I'd lost? The neon glow of LA's skyline flickered through my Silver Lake blinds, a restless pulse mirroring my own as I sat on my sagging couch. The high of the Roxy's triumph was now just a faint hum. The Echo Foundation's fundraiser had exploded, fans pouring in thousands to support artists like me. Their Hatch Justice for Sienna posts flooded X, a chorus of voices drowning out the label's fading threats. But Lila's red-rimmed eyes from last night, her hesitant clap in the crowd, clung to me like a stubborn melody. Her note, "I'm trapped," burned in my mind. Had I won my voice, or silenced hers in the wreckage? The question stung, sharper than the Wiltern spotlight. I stared at my phone, Dad's silence still unbroken. His absence, another wound that echoed Vanessa's theft. Then, notification ping, an email, unknown sender, subject line, "We need to talk, please." My heart skipped. The name was hidden, but the tone felt like Lila's loopy scrawl, fragile yet urgent. The next day I met Eli at his Echo Park studio. The familiar hum of vintage amps and coffee grounded me as I spilled the night's doubts. "The foundation's real now, Sienna," he said, his beard twitching with a proud grin. He handed me a printout of donation stats. "You're giving artists a shield. Your fight's bigger than one song." His words sparked hope. But Lila's remorse, Vanessa's crumbling empire, and Dad's silence weighed heavy. Was my victory worth fracturing the family I'd fought to hold? Eli sensed my hesitation. His eyes softened. "You stirred the pot, kid. But maybe Lila's note means she's ready to break free. Reach out. Don't let Vanessa's shadow win." He slid me a flyer for an open mic at a dive bar. A chance to perform again, a chance to keep my voice alive. I nodded, but the email's plea lingered, pulling me toward a truth I wasn't ready to face. That evening, I drove to a quiet cafe near Griffith Park. The patio was strung with fairy lights, the air soft with jasmine and the clink of coffee mugs. Lila was there, alone. Her sequined stage persona gone, replaced by a hoodie and messy bun, her eyes puffy as they met mine. "Sienna," she whispered, her voice cracking like her Wiltern performance. "I didn't know it was yours at first. Vanessa said she wrote it, that it was for me." Her hands twisted a napkin, her gaze dropping. "I saw your demos in her files later, but she said you'd agreed that it was family. I was too scared to ask." Her words hit like a muted chord, guilt and relief colliding. I remembered her at 13, humming my melodies in my room. Her awe snuffed out by Vanessa's control. Had I judged her too harshly? Or was this just another act? I leaned forward, my voice steady but soft. "Lila, why didn't you tell me? We could have fought her together." Her eyes welled up, her voice barely a whisper. "I wanted to. Those calls, the note. But Vanessa, she's all I had after Dad chose her. I thought I'd lose everything." Her confession cracked something in me. The anger softened. I saw the girl trapped in Vanessa's web, not the thief I'd painted. But the pain lingered. Dad's silence, Vanessa's gaslighting, my stolen song. "I'm sorry," Lila said, reaching for my hand, her touch hesitant but warm. "I want to make it right. I'll tell the label it's yours, publicly." Her resolve, fragile but real, echoed the sister I'd once known. But the cost of my war pressed down. Could we rebuild? Or was the damage too deep? Driving home, LA's neon veins pulsed through my windshield. The weight of my choices lifted, just a fraction. The Echo Foundation was my legacy now, a beacon for artists fighting erasure. But Lila's offer, and her remorse, opened a door I'd thought slammed shut. Vanessa's shadow still loomed, her label deal dead, her name tarnished, but her broken dreams no longer defined me. Dad's silence hurt, but I'd found my voice. Not just in echoes of you, but in every note I'd sing next. As I parked, jasmine soft on the breeze, I replied to Lila's email. "Let's talk more. Together." The road ahead was uncertain, a new song yet to be written. But for the first time, I felt its melody might harmonize us both. The faint hum of LA's morning traffic seeped through my cracked window. The jasmine drifting from the balcony was now a quiet comfort as I sipped my Colombian blend, its bitter edge grounding me. Lila's cafe confession from last night echoed like a fragile melody. Her trembling words, "I'll tell the label it's yours publicly," still rang in my ears. Her red-rimmed eyes stood in stark contrast to the polished pop star I'd seen at the Wiltern. The Echo Foundation's success pulsed on my laptop, donation notifications ticking upward, Hat Justice for Sienna still trending on X, but Dad's silence remained a void, heavier than Vanessa's tarnished name. Could I rebuild with Lila, or was trust too broken to tune? The question lingered, sharp as a flat note, as I opened my phone. Her latest email blinked on the screen. "Meet me at Soundwave Studios tomorrow, 3 p.m. I have an idea for us." My pulse quickened. Hope clashed with caution. Her words. A bridge I wasn't sure I could cross. I arrived at Soundwave Studios in Hollywood. Its sleek glass facade glinted under the afternoon sun. The air buzzed with the hum of mixers and the faint strum of a guitar from a nearby booth. Lila waited in the lobby, her hoodie swapped for a simple tee, her face bare of makeup, her eyes nervous but determined. "Sienna," she said, her voice soft but steady. "I told the label the truth this morning. They're crediting you for Echoes of You, full songwriter rights, backdated royalties. I pushed for it." Her words hit like a clean chord. Relief flooded me, but the memory of her Wiltern falter, her "I'm trapped" note, tempered it. Was this redemption, or just a step to save her image? I nodded, my throat tight. "Thank you, Lila, but why now?" She hesitated, fingers twisting a studio pass, then met my gaze. "I saw you at the Roxy, owning your truth. It made me realize I've been singing Vanessa's lies too long. I want to write with you, Sienna, a real collab, our voices, not hers." Her offer stunned me. A memory flashed, us at 13, harmonizing in my room before Vanessa's shadow loomed. My heart tugged, but doubt lingered. Dad's absence, Vanessa's gaslighting, years of erasure. Could I trust Lila, or would this pull me back into their orbit? We stepped into a studio booth, foam-lined walls, air thick with possibility, and old wounds. Lila strummed a tentative melody on a guitar. Her notes echoed mine from years ago. And for a moment we were kids again, creating without fear. "This could be ours," she whispered, sketching lyrics on a notepad. Her loopy scrawl mirrored her note from before. My fingers found the keys, adding harmony. Our music wove a fragile thread. But Vanessa's voice hovered, her "you don't know what it's like to lose your shot," a reminder of the cost. Halfway through, my phone buzzed, a text from Dad, the first in weeks. "We need to talk. I saw the news. I'm sorry." My breath caught. His words cracked the silence, but carried no warmth, only the weight of years ignored. Lila noticed. Her eyes softened. "He's struggling, Sienna. Vanessa's gone quiet, locked herself in her office. I think he's seeing her now, really seeing her." Her voice trembled, hinting at a family unraveling. And I wondered if my war had broken more than I'd meant. Was I ready to face him? Or was my fight still with the ghosts they'd left? We kept writing. Our song took shape, a raw ballad about sisters, loss, and reclaiming truth. But the studio's hum couldn't drown the ache of Dad's text, or the question of Vanessa's next move. As we wrapped, Lila hugged me, her grip tight, a promise in her touch. "Let's keep going," she said, her smile hesitant, but real. Outside, LA's sunset bled crimson across the sky. The city's pulse urged me forward. The Echo Foundation was my anchor, but this new song with Lila felt like a chance to heal, not just fight. Yet Dad's text and Vanessa's silence loomed, a dissonant chord unresolved. Driving home, my phone pinged again, an X-post from an anonymous account, a single line. "The truth isn't done with you yet." My heart raced, the city's neon blurred. Vanessa's shadow. Or someone new, lurking in the wings, ready to rewrite our next verse. The anonymous X post, "The truth isn't done with you yet," lingered like a warped vinyl track. Its threat hummed in my mind as I sat in my Silver Lake apartment, the flicker of streetlights slicing through the blinds. Lila's studio confession yesterday, her resolve to credit me for Echoes of You, had sparked a fragile harmony. But Dad's cryptic text, "I'm sorry," and Vanessa's silence cast a shadow, a chord unresolved. Was this a final jab from her, or had my fight woken a new enemy? The Echo Foundation's donations soared. X buzzed with #Justice for Sienna. But the menace of that post clung to me, my phone glowing as I sipped my coffee, the smog-tinged breeze from the balcony sharpening my unease. I met Lila at a downtown LA rooftop cafe. The skyline glittered under a noon haze, the air sharp with espresso, and the faint thrum of a busker's guitar below. Lila looked steadier, her eyes brighter, though her fingers toyed nervously with a straw. "I traced the X post," she said, her voice low, glancing around. "It's not Vanessa. She's a mess. Her team's scrambling. Eli thinks it's a label exec, someone gunning for her old deal." Her words echoed the login attempt from before, tightening my chest, but her next offer hit deeper. "I'm singing with you at the Echo Foundation launch tonight, Sienna, to show we're in this together. Her earnestness mirrored our studio ballad, but doubt flickered. Could this alliance hold, or was I still walking a tightrope? We arrived at the Foundation's launch, a Silver Lake venue, brick walls plastered with indie flyers, the stage a haven for artists fighting erasure. The crowd pulsed. Fans, musicians, ex-supporters, hatched Justice for Sienna signs glowing under the lights. Eli handed me a mic, his grin wide. "This is it, kid. Own your story." I stepped on stage with Lila. Our song Sisters in Time wove loss and redemption, our voices blending like they did when we were 13. Mid-song, I spotted Dad in the back, his face etched with regret, his eyes meeting mine, for the first time in years. Was he here to heal, or just to witness the fallout? Lila's hand brushed mine. Her nod grounded me as our harmony soared. The crowd's cheers rose, a warm current lifting us. I paused, my voice steady as I faced the crowd. This song, this fight, is for every artist whose voice was stolen. I reclaimed echoes of you because it was my story, my pain, my truth. Standing up isn't just for me, it's for everyone the industry tried to silence. The crowd roared. Lila's eyes shone with shared purpose. I pushed on, my words a call. Copyright your work, lock it down, own it. Join the Echo Foundation. Lift each other up, because no one should lose their art to someone else's ambition. The applause surged, a wave of solidarity. But the anonymous post's shadow lingered, a warning of battles ahead. Backstage, Dad approached, his voice heavy. "Sienna, I was too ashamed to face how I failed you. I let Vanessa's vision blind me." His admission cracked my defenses. The years of silence stung less, but still raw. Lila squeezed my shoulder. Her presence, a bridge we might yet cross. As we left, the LA night pulsed with promise. My phone buzzed. An email from Eli. "That ex-post? Likely a rival exec sniffing around Vanessa's old contracts. Stay sharp." The city's glow flickered, a challenge unmet. But with Lila's harmony and the Foundation's fire, I knew my voice could outlast any threat. This was my stage, my song, and I'd keep writing it, note by note,